How many times have we talked about client communication? Quite a few, which is great. It's come up a lot. We understand that you all have clients that you have to deal with on a regular basis. So we wanted to ensure that we put together a toolkit, because that's the theme of the day, that prepares you to properly communicate the brand to your client. So we've created a presentation, like we said, that will likely answer some of the key questions that your client will have in terms of executing and making sure that we have continual improvement of the brand. So we want to explain to them what On The Go 2.0 is, what it means. So the reason we're doing this training is so that you can properly communicate all of that information. What were the pilot results? So we want them to know that this isn't something that we're just throwing at them and saying, here you go, this is what's happening, it is what it is. We want to say that we've taken the time, done the lengthy research, tested it, and made sure that we were fully prepared to execute properly at your unit. And how did we enhance our offers? So we all have On The Go Legacy currently. So explaining to them the key differences between Legacy and On The Go 2.0, and there are several, between variety, packaging, labeling, and the culinary innovation. So the recipes are nothing like the recipes that were part of the Legacy program. They're innovative, they're fresh, they're exciting, and we want to really communicate that we're offering something for everyone. So we understand our customer base, that there's always going to be a value seeker. There's always going to be someone that just wants something cheap, something easy, something simple. Then there's our core. So that's the majority of our business. Customers that are looking for a pretty decent sandwich, a good recipe, but not necessarily something super fancy and super expensive. And then we have our premium users. Those are our foodies. Those are the ones that really want a really great lunch. They want a really great snack. They want a product that's a little higher end, that has a little bit more intrigue. So interesting ingredients. Our pricing strategy. So we reviewed that as one of the questions because we knew it would come up. So yes, pricing is changing, but we are a brand. As Tim Hortons is a brand, they have set prices as well. So we're executing it in that sense. And then what to expect. So we want to clearly communicate that you don't just have resources pre-launch and day of launch. You have continual innovation through LTOs, through setting the table. We want to make sure that we're communicating that, yeah, it's great now, but they may have concerns about 6 months from now. Are we going to continue with having fresh ingredients? Are we going to continue with our fresh promise? Are we going to continually have a merchandise fridge? Are we no longer going to have the 11 a.m. syndrome? We want to make sure that we're promising our clients all of those things and making sure that we're following through with all of those promises. Mark kind of stole my thunder earlier today when it came to client communication. Thanks, Mark. About bringing samples. So we talked a lot about getting passionate about On The Go 2.0 and how we're going to do that. We're going to do that through tasting. This is what gets people excited, and you'll be able to experience this at lunch today. So as soon as you taste some of the delicious products that we have, you get passionate and excited about it. You get excited about launching it. You have your favorite items. So make sure that when you're meeting with your client that you have some samples for them to try. How many of you like the new confectionery items? They went pretty well day one, so I know they're good. So we all like them, right? So we want to share that and get our clients excited about them as well. And share the packaging and labeling strategy. So let them know about the improved packaging. Let them know that it's heat sealed so that it makes sure that our items are as fresh as possible. We're sealing in that freshness. And share the labeling. This is really important because a lot of clients now are looking for, well, where are my nutritionals? We have customers that have dietary needs and we need to know what are in the products. And we've never really done anything like this before. So we have our key ingredients on the front, as well as the key nutritionals, and then a full nutritional panel on the back. This is something to get excited about. Are there any questions about the client communication? So In your binder, there's a full document of the client communication. So it's a PowerPoint presentation that we've put together, sharing all of this information, all of the key questions a client may have. Has everyone found it? Do they know? No? Under client communication. Yep. And then, so it starts here. So we tried to keep it as high level as possible, and if we wanted to go into more detail, we can. So all of that information has been sent to your RMM, so they have it. If you want anything editable or you need to make any changes, that'd be something you would reach out to your RMM for. Are there any questions about the client communication? Is this a tool? Yep. I don't know.
More of a comment than a question.
Nope. Go ahead.
Thanks.
Yep.
Certainly in the US dining business, we meet with our clients on a monthly basis. We have quarterly business reviews, and one of the agenda items is always to validate the WITI. And I can't think of one client that hasn't identified the WITI item as customer satisfaction as being one of the most important things. So if we make our communications about appealing to that particular WITI item, they would buy in a lot quicker, because we're not just doing it for our customers, we're also doing it for our clients. And if we position it in such a way that we're investing in the offer because this is what you told us was important, it'll be a lot easier to sell them that way.
Perfect, thank you. Do you think we're missing anything from the questions that you may have? Is there anything major that we haven't covered in terms of the client communication that we should add to our presentation? So we went over the what. We talked about the pilot results. How did we enhance our offer? So making sure that they understand that there was research and backing behind all of this. Making sure that we're clearly communicating that there's something for everyone and that there's a reason behind our pricing strategy. That we followed market trends to ensure that we have a fair price for our products. And making sure that we're definitely clearly communicating what they can expect from On The Go 2.0 in terms of pre-launch, so your marketing kits that you will be receiving, launch day, to get that excitement, get that chef's table going, but most importantly, post-launch. What will you be doing to continue with those brand standards and make sure that it's executed on the highest level every single day? Good?
Do we have the on-the-go letterhead or something like that?
Is that something you need?
Would be nice.
So the question is to have an on-the-go letterhead.
It would be colorful.
Sure.
Would be nice.
We can create that one for you.
With that, because the PowerPoint attachment, maybe will send it as an attachment, but the letter also goes as an attachment rather than just an email sent to them. So
Absolutely.
they're all tied together.
It's a good
Done.
idea.
Done. 1 second.
I was speaking with Mark yesterday, and I think that it would be a good idea for the regional marketing managers, so Judith and Jennifer, maybe if you could meet with Mark and Michelle, review the presentation, see if there's something missing, and perhaps come up with a standard template for the pricing, because they're going to know exactly what they need. And again, Ontario is creating the rest of the tools for the rest of the country, and it's probably might be a little different for Chartwell, so maybe John and Christina can work with the Chartwell's team, review this client presentation, which is a really great start, but we know we're probably missing something that the clients are going to need. So why don't we create the template, we'll host it, we'll keep a central copy, your letterhead, we might as well create that letter together, right? You and your regional marketing manager, we'll keep the template on file, and then that way it just needs to be tweaked for every account launch.
Perfect. 1 sec, Pat.
Have you guys thought about a loyalty program or a loyalty card, or is that something that you're thinking about in the future?
So there is loyalty. It's coming. So the loyalty program, we're actually working with the U.S. on it. So they've drafted what they'll use in the U.S. So the loyalty program is buy 9, get 10, buy 6, get 7, and sort of like that. So we're playing with the numbers we're asking operators, because you don't want somebody buying a value sandwich and then you have to give a premium sandwich away. So we're working on the wording to make sure that it's clear that it's a like-for-like item, so to speak. So we don't want to just put it out. Because the biggest thing that operators will say back to us, well, I only sold value to this consumer or this guest, and now I have to give them a premium sandwich.
Have all three on the card, and then whichever one is purchased is the one that is stamped or line or color coded or what's the other code? Oh, sorry.
Think of it in this way. If a consumer can only spend to purchase value sandwiches, but when he redeems it, he actually gets to taste the premium, what is the possibility that he might be switching to premium on an occasion?
Can you come up here for a minute?
Uh-oh.
Come on. So, how many operators would actually agree to that?
Uh-oh.
Right? So for me, this is nirvana. For me, so go ahead. The comment was?
What I said is, what if, like, I come from Chartwells, and value meal is a big deal for us, right? So if the buy 8 and 10, buy 8 and get the 9th free, if the person continues to buy value sandwiches, but the free sandwich that he actually picks is a premium sandwich, which he cannot afford it. But imagine he falls in love with the premium sandwiches, and then he buys value, but on occasionally treat himself to premium sandwiches. So we still gives them something different to taste. And imagine you're throwing a sandwich away, but somebody else is sampling the sandwiches. So it's the same idea.
So again, for me, that's nirvana. But doing these buy gets before, we've been challenged when and I'll pick on roasters, that if somebody's buying small all the time, why give away a large? So we do want to promote, if anybody buys any on-the-go food, they can pick anything. But again, you have to be on side. We don't want to pre-print stuff that you might just stick in your drawer and say, this is not going to work for me because financially I don't want to give away the premium one when somebody's buying value all the time. So Geeta, I mean, fantastic.
Just a suggestion, but other companies, what they do with loyalty is they do so. The thing they get at the end is actually up to the brand. So it's at the 9th, whatever you buy, this is what you're getting. So they actually give them a product that off of another line. Do you know what I mean? So like it'd be a snack line or do you see what I'm saying? So.
Absolutely.
So if you buy 9 sandwiches, the thing that you get for free at the end is actually off of another line of the brand. Correct. So then they're sampling. So then they're actually circulating outside of their comfort zone and trying other things. So those ancillary add-ons in the snack that you're trying to get them to buy, I think is, and you said it. So when you do the LTO, when you do it, that's what it is for the month of whatever, the first quarter, the second quarter, the third quarter. And then it's easy and it's a no-brainer. And it's a must-do.
Perfect. Every line to that?
Instead of having a static, I think that's what Michelle's saying, static loyalty card, they change.
That's right.
Right?
Exactly.
So they're changing every quarter or every...
And because you're deciding what the product is, you get to introduce the newest product. Because in a year from now, you're going to have a plug on a product out in the market that you want to put into on the go, and you need a format and a platform to launch it. And we're not going to do this all over again. So you use that to launch the product. I mean, that's how I think it would work the best. So not only giving you something for free, but I get the benefit of actually promoting the product.
Okay. Your thoughts?
I agree with what Michelle just said.
Okay.
Oh, get it in writing.
So for the camera.
I just had a heart attack.
For the camera, Mark has agreed.
With Michelle. No,
With
with Michelle.
with
You got to say the back part.
So I think that's fantastic. So all these things that we're talking about, they're already on draft, and they're for us to finalize in the month of December. So we want to run it the way Michelle's talking about, that we push out, here's the brand, here's the so on and so forth. But we want to make sure that you are aligned. So it's a conversation we're going to have this afternoon, but it's okay to have it now too. We do want to run it in a way that it's brand-led. So if we're going to do parfaits and then you get the free as a side salad or a full salad, or you do the parfaits and then you get a sandwich, because we do want to take people that are standardized in whatever and get them into other things. And all these buy-gets, what the true goal is to uptick them. So if they're on a value, get them to a premium. If they're on a value, get them to a core. If they're on core, get them to premium. If they're only buying parfaits, get them to buy the sandwiches. If they're only buying sandwiches, get them to buy the salads. So it's this whole 360 platform to really start pushing all of our products across. And even so, if they're not, here's another thought. So if people are not buying beverages when they're buying their food, if you think that's going to start happening, because in the pilot so far, it's not that big of a deal. But we do see a lot of food-only non-beverages. So how do we capture with On The Go to make sure that we're buying beverages as well? So if somebody buys only side salads, on their 9th purchase, they get a free bottle of water, and so on and so forth. So that we can now start tying beverages in, but not the ones that are really, we're not going to give away your Red Bull or your San Pellegrino, but a bottle of water is no big deal, right? So from a cost perspective. But to Michelle's point, bring it all the way around through. Brand-led, get them to tie into upticking, and then bring them into a 360 consumer or a guest where they are purchasing all our lines across the brand. We good with that? Okay, so we will have this final in December. We're really ahead of it. With the creatives almost done, we'll add the taglines at the bottom, push it through legal, and then we'll have it ready for everybody. So great, thanks. What else?
Non-client related question. We saw a lot of great new products yesterday, new confectionery products and beverages and that. So one of the comments that was said, go out and get them now. But if we launch at the end of January, are we not stealing thunder from the launch with all of these new great products? Because, well, we've already brought them into our unit.
Great question. Before I answer it, does anybody have a comment on that?
Other than, we're adding more sales now, but
right.
Are we going to hit that 14% come the end of January that we've boasted to the client and to everybody else?
Yeah, great point. So I have two thoughts on that. So you have a comment? Yeah. One sec.
My thought is, if you're launching in Jan, we are launching the brand On The Go, which does include all this healthy snacks and water, which we were informed about. But On The Go brand is about sandwiches and salads, and that's what we want to push in Jan. Right now, why not take the opportunity, if the products are available in the market from our supply chain, why not go ahead and offer it? Right? Then we are doing back-to-back promotion in our units.
So we're already doing snack lines, like those snack lines, that the Kind bars, the Karma. You can do that. Our plan is to launch all of those lines into our B accounts now. And then for the A accounts that don't have them, who haven't brought them in, MacBlock brought them all in, and they have a center table by their cash where they've got them all displayed. Cliff bars, everything. So we're making money on that. Like that's, dollars in the bank.
I understand what you're saying is we're boasting that it's going to be 14% lift, at such and such a time when we launch the whole cadoodle, and then, are you...
You're getting 5%
Getting ahead
now,
of
so all you're
yourself.
doing is putting money
Yeah.
in the bank now. It shouldn't affect the 14% lift later if you're still selling the ancillary product.
Does that answer your question, Rob?
And so here's my 2 points of view on this. So On The Go from a brand perspective is, to what Vivek is saying, is the food. So that's really what we're delivering to our client and our guests to say, here's our new food. The ancillary, whether beverages or confectionery, you really can't do that today. And it'll take the standard from whatever it is today, from a signage, PID, and all that, and it'll help you with on-the-go communication, the 10 days coming down soon. Because people start seeing the PIDs, people see the salty, better for you, sweet signage, and they'll start asking, what is this? And it'll help the conversation of, it's coming soon from a food perspective. You're going to see our full line. And I think, for me, it's only going to enhance. And the aggregate 14, this will help that. Answer? Yes. Okay.
Perfect. Oh, question?
Yeah. My question has to do with packaging and food, actually, so it's not really on this
That's
topic.
okay.
But the nutritionals that were on the packages, for the salads that you're adding the dressing for, I'm assuming that they don't include the dressing?
Correct.
Okay, because
Yep, no. The, yeah, will include. So anything that we're making and putting in the package, essentially, is what the nutritionals will encompass. Okay, so we're going to move on. In-unit front-of-house training. So we've touched on this a bit over the last couple of days, but about really driving home the message, because your staff are the people that are going to be at the front lines, talking to the customers, and really communicating that message. So we've given this 3-day training in order to make sure that you're ready to essentially train the trainer. So we're training you so that you can train your associates to ignite that passion. So there are going to be a number of questions that come up during the launch period in terms of how to deal with customer questions. So making sure that we're covering all of our bases in terms of if any of our customers come and have questions, that our associates are fully prepared to answer them and answer them well. So Parminder demonstrated a bit of this earlier today, but we're going to dive a little bit deeper into how we can prepare our staff to properly communicate to our customers. So, what should we review with our associates? Similar to the client piece, but in a more finite detail. So, why On the Go 2.0? What is On the Go 2.0? Clearly driving home our fresh promise, because they're the ones that are going to be communicating to our customers what exactly our fresh promise is. What is premium, core, and value? So they know if you have a merchandising champion, where would I put my premium product? Making sure that we're understanding the purpose of the planogram and why we're following it. What is our pricing strategy? Why have we put these prices in place? Why do we charge what we charge for the products we're selling? They need to understand not only what that means from our perspective, but what it means to the customer and how to properly communicate that to the customer. And why do we have brand standards? So really reinforcing the importance that this is a brand. Like any other brand, we have set standards and set expectations so that we're following all of those things. The last point is the compliance review. So being fully transparent with your associates in terms of, yes, there is an audit, although we don't like using that word. You know that Tim Hortons will come in and we'll be checking out, are you following brand standards? And in that same sense, we'll be doing the exact same thing. So making sure that they know all of the details of this audit. So in your binders, we have the full communication for associate training. So we've created a presentation for you to take your associates through. As suggested before, making it a part of your SMART tips, making it a part of your pre-service meetings, and continually driving that message of brand standards and why we're doing this and what our fresh promise is, so that we can really prepare our associates to answer any questions. We are the experts, and they should be the experts too, and knowing exactly what to say to customers when they have specific questions about our promises and commitments as a brand. So take a couple minutes to look through the presentation and think about how you're going to communicate this to your associates. You're the experts. You know how your staff operates. How are you going to communicate all of this information, all of the things that you've learned in the last 3 days? How are you going to engage your associates and get them as passionate as I'm sure you all are about On the Go 2.0? We're going to do a little activity. I'll give you a couple minutes just to look through the presentation, and once that's done, we're going to take you through a little bit of an activity. Okay. Has everyone had a bit of a chance to look through it? Are there any questions about that presentation? So it's really important that we're properly communicating that presentation to our associates so that they understand the importance. And I can't stress enough to repeat this presentation and to repeat the standards with your associates as many times as necessary in order for them to understand the importance of the standards that have been set in place. So what we've done here is we've created some scenarios of typical customer concerns, we'll call them, that your associates may get approached with. So it's really important that we have a standard set in place for our associates in order to answer these concerns properly. So there's 4 specific statements here. The first statement is, I ate my yogurt parfait and I hated it. So you're going to get the odd customer come up. They may be disgruntled. They may have ate the whole parfait, but they're telling you it was the worst thing they've ever ate. It's like, have you seen that Delissio commercial where they come back and they return the empty pizza box and say it was the worst thing they'd ever had, but it's all gone? Those customers definitely exist. So we need to train our associates on how they can answer that. We also need to train them on, there was a hair in my sandwich. So this is another thing that comes up. I know Parminder demonstrated his role-playing version of that. So we're going to ask you guys now to work in groups and demonstrate it in a role-play scenario as well. My cheese box said it has brie in it, but it doesn't. So this is something we really need to drive home. We're being completely transparent on what exactly our recipe is because it's on the box. So we need to ensure whatever it says on the label is in the product, right? This is absolutely crucial for consistency, for customer loyalty, and to properly execute a brand. You don't go to Tim Hortons and find that the sour glazed donut has no glaze, right? Like you have to make sure that you have that consistency so we can ignite repeat business. The last one is another one that comes up very frequently. So every time I come to your cafe for lunch at 1:30 p.m., because that's when I have my break, my favorite wrap is always gone. So how many times does a customer, they're really passionate about their chicken Caesar wrap as an example. That's their favorite wrap, and they would buy it every day if it were in the fridge. But unfortunately, 4 to 5 days of the week, it's not there. So that's lost business, right? All they wanted was the chicken Caesar wrap. It's not there. They're walking out with nothing. So how does an associate answer all of these questions in a proper format? We need to prepare our associates to ensure that they easily can answer these questions as eloquently as you as a manager could. So we're going to break you out. We hear on a regular basis, customer concerns, we'll call them. So I know you deal with them, and it's important that we really prepare our associates to deal with them as well so that they can answer a lot of the questions our customers may have. So, yeah, where are the mics? You guys need mics. Where's the other one? Oh, Charles. Perfect. Here's one. All right, so this is group 4. So group 4 has the 1:30 p.m. syndrome, where this customer has a favorite wrap, and at 1:30 every day when they go to get it, it's not there.
Again, I come to the cafe to get my favorite sandwich, and you never, ever have it. It's always gone. It's here at 1:30 every day. How hard is that?
I'm sorry, you are?
I'm Janet.
Janet. I'm Terry. I'm the manager. Which wrap is it that you're saying is your favorite and we don't have?
My chicken Caesar wrap. It's never here, ever.
I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sure you're not the only person who is missing the chicken Caesar wrap. I have 2 things I can do for you. I could either go to the back and have them
prepare another wrap for you, or I could suggest the prosciutto caprese sandwich. It's actually very good if you want to try something different
It's
today.
more expensive. I don't know. It's okay. If you want to go to the back, that's fine.
You'll wait. It'll just take a couple minutes.
Yeah, it's,
And again, I want to say thank you because I'm sure you're not the only customer who is missing this sandwich. I'm going to have to go back and look at our production and make sure we have more available.
tomorrow it'll be here.
It should be here, yes.
Okay, sure. Go to the back. That's great.
Thank you.
Okay, perfect. For the purposes of every other group, I'm not going to go into any detail about what they could have or should have done because, well, that just wouldn't be fair. So we're going to talk about it after, and we'll go into some detail about how we should really train our associates to communicate. So, which group wants to go next? Group 2? I like the enthusiasm, volunteering, wow.
It's easy to volunteer.
Yeah.
That's what Mark
Okay, so there's a hair in my sandwich.
What we are doing is we are doing two different scenarios. One is
We're playing, and then we're playing to win.
Wow.
I just bought this. There's a hair in my sandwich.
No, that's not possible.
Well, why not? It's a hair.
Yes, I can see a hair, but
And it's not one of mine.
Well, it's not ours either because everybody in our kitchen, including myself, has a hairnet on. So it's not possible that we have that from you. It may be a customer's hair. I don't know.
Oh, okay. So what are we going to do about it?
I'm sorry. I will let my manager know, but I don't think so. It is ours.
Oh. Again. All right.
So
thanks.
So I'm hoping that's the what not to do scenario.
Well, it is a not to do scenario, but when we don't empower our associates, this is what is going to happen.
Exactly.
Right?
It's a good demonstration.
They don't have the authority to take it to the next step, or the manager maybe not be around. Maybe a manager's out in a training here, right? So something like this happens. So now the second scenario.
Excuse me. There's a hair in my sandwich.
Oh, I am so sorry. I apologize. Did you purchase this right now? Or?
I just got it literally minutes ago. It's not one of mine, so clearly it needs to be somebody from in the house.
Oh, I very much apologize for this. This shouldn't have happened in the first place. I will take it back to my team. I will make sure this is. In the meantime, can I do something for you? Can I replace you with another one? Or
Yeah, actually, another sandwich. Really hungry. Waited all day for it.
Oh, I am sorry.
And it's in the cabinet, so which is good.
Oh, okay. Let me just get you another sandwich, and I'll get you something else. So that's a second scenario.
Perfect. Thank you for sharing. Thank you, guys. Okay, 2 groups left. Who's next? We had... Perfect. Woo! Group 3. So my cheese box said it had brie in it, but it doesn't.
Be nice, okay? So I'm the customer. Be nice. Hi, I just got my cheese box, and there's no brie cheese in there. I pay a lot of money for it. What are you going to do about it?
Oh, first of all, let me apologize. Oh, really? Really? Okay, no problem. First, whatever I can do, you want to choose another item? I would like to. Did you get another item?
No, I don't want another item. I want my money back.
You want your money back?
Yes.
Are you sure? We have a lot of items here.
No, I don't want anything. I want my money back.
Okay, I will give you your money back, and I'm just not going to do that. I'm going to check all the items because for sure, I want to make sure that these items has all what we promised.
I don't care what you do in checking
No
the item.
problems.
I want my money.
I will get you your money back immediately. Whatever we can, whatever we try is to make it easier for the staff. Fast solutions. The customer doesn't need to wait that long. They don't need to wait for the manager. Simple. Immediately get another item or your money back. That's it.
I don't know if we should empower an employee to give him the money back, because I think we should call for a supervisor, somebody, because if we start doing that, we might open up a whole can of worms.
Yeah, we have to encourage the
So
people
there
to
should
bring
be a
it
limit in
another.
terms of what we can empower employee to do.
What?
I think we should say, the associate say, I'll take your name and phone number, and my manager will happy to reimburse you.
Yeah.
Right?
Or in the meantime, you can have a piece of a cookie or something.
But you don't want nothing.
You know. I still want my money back.
So before we move on, so the brie is missing. The brie is missing. So it could be only the one box that the brie is missing.
Sure, we have to take, but we have to show the customer that we care.
Yep.
That is not another mistake. Simple. We want to take all the things out and review if it's something in the back of the house that we're doing wrong. We have to start following. Where we made a mistake? How we made a mistake?
Right. So that's good. But so now this conversation about who do we empower to make a decision right then and there if there is no management on site. We do need to collectively align on that so that when we go back to our units, we know what we're saying. Maria?
If you've ever been in a restaurant, if you've ever been asked to wait, if you've ever been asked to give your name and have somebody call you, it has to be immediate. You can screw up, but you can only have one chance to fix it, so do it right. So there needs to be an in-house solution, and you guys know your teams. I'm sure we're going to break some kind of financial audit rules if we empower our associates, but you can't make them wait to fix it.
Mark?
Yes, so I somewhat agree with Maria. I don't think you can put the employee or the customer off by saying, we'll get back with you later or somebody will follow up with you. They want immediate action. They want to know two things, I think. They want to know that their concern has been heard and you care about it. And second of all, there needs to be some type of action taken to resolve the issue. So yeah, I believe that every one of our associates need to be empowered to handle a dissatisfied customer. And that requires training and an understanding of what can be given, whether it's money or a different product or a discount or a coupon, whatever the case may be, but it has to be resolved right then and there.
Okay,
Great, thanks.
Geeta?
If our cashier or associate has been empowered to give money in refund, I think the refund process is on the cash registers where you refund it, but at the back of the chit, the name of the customer, the time and the telephone number that we can then manager or the supervisor needs to connect with the customer to know exactly that was an incident. Because there could be something that the cashier missed to say, because I may have walked in to the unit at 3:30, a cashier had already left at 3 o'clock. The refund sheet will show me that there is a refund in there, but I don't know what the refund was for. So maybe a follow-up from the manager in case we have to give $3 to the customer would be making it right, I think.
Sure. Great suggestion. It's just, again, we haven't put this in the on-the-go standard. The reason is because I don't know what the standard, I do know what the standard is from, call it corporate, London, what to do with refunds, but does everybody do that same thing? So if someone does give a chit to you as a manager, it should say on there why they did it, how they did it, all that sort of stuff. So, same sort of rules that nobody can hit no sale to open the till, all that sort of stuff. So if the till's opening, they should be able to say to you, I opened it because X, Y, and Z. So those practices are already in place, and that's why we haven't included them as the on-the-go brand practices. We're following what Compass Corporate is, from a refund, opening the till, loss prevention, all those types of rules. So that should be standard, that the cashier is saying, I gave $3 back at this time for this reason, so on and so forth. Please call X, Y, and Z. So if we need to include that here in the playbook, we can, but it's really the Compass standard procedure that's already in place. So I don't know, your thoughts?
Well, I guess this is the process that we follow at our end, where we want to make sure the customer is treated right then and there, right? But taking it further, I guess it's the loss prevention department that will have to finalize, give the authority. But this is a step that we take, so we make sure we do want the customers to come back, because we do live in a captive audience.
Absolutely.
Right? And sometimes that $3 is not the biggest deal we
Right.
want to make out of it. And if the sandwich was not good, it is a problem at our end that we need to fix it in our kitchen. But let's make it right for the customer right there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so.
Great.
Okay.
The only time that we tell our customers to go back is when the customer says they give $20 and the cashier says no, it was only $10. Then we need to do an audit on the till. That's the only time that we actually tell the customers that the manager will get in connection with you after they do an audit on the till. That's the
Right.
only time we do that. But to make it right to the customer, we try to make it right then and there,
Okay.
not leave it for later.
Fair enough. So we will include the LP process for returns and opening tills right to the playbook, so that everybody has it in print. So when you're taking people through the associate training, it's there again as a reminder. Okay.
Perfect. Okay, so moving on, last but not least, we'll need those.
Yep.
Thanks. Group 1. So I ate my yogurt parfait, but I hated it.
We expect some robust, angry customer.
Woo! Oh my goodness, what are they? Wow.
Excuse me, do you work here?
Yes, I do.
I don't know. You haven't got a name badge on. I got a problem.
Oh, how can I help you? I'm the manager here. My name is Sarah.
Really? Listen, I just ate this yogurt parfait, and I have to tell you, it was the worst thing I ever ate. It was awful.
Oh, I'm very sorry to hear that. What particularly was it that you didn't like?
I don't know, like it started pretty good on the top with the peaches, but the peaches were really wet and soggy, so all the peach juice kind of just trickled through the yogurt. It was awful. And by the time I got to the bottom, the yogurt was warm. It was horrible, kind of soupy-like. Like, how do you expect me to like this?
That is not our standards. I do apologize. We will check our maintenance logs right now. We'll check the refrigerators, and maybe that it's a temperature issue, which is our concern. Can I offer you another freshly made parfait? It'll just take a few minutes.
I'm not touching your parfaits again, honey.
Can I offer you anything else?
I don't think so. I just need to get out of here. I have to go write an exam, and I'm pissed off, and now my stomach's starting to hurt. I gotta go.
I'm very, very sorry. I will offer you a complete refund, and please come back and visit us. And I would like to offer you in the future a sample of a freshly made yogurt.
Maybe we'll talk another day. Ciao.
Thanks.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Thanks everyone that participated. So it was lots of fun, and it was a good opportunity for a lot of us to vent because we do run into a lot of these issues on a regular basis. So what we've put together is kind of a standard of how we can train our associates to respond to some of these concerns, right? So it's a 4-step process in handling guest complaints. So listen, it's really important that we're not reactive right away, right? We need to really understand what our customer is trying to tell us. Gather all of the information and process it before making any statements. Identify the concern. So it's really important that you're restating what they're saying so that they know that you're listening and you understand their concern. Acknowledge the concern. So show them that you understand and that you're empathizing with them, and apologize for whatever issue they present. And then resolve the issue. The best way to handle it is asking the guest what we can do to make their experience better. Understand what they're looking for. There's going to be some times where, they're going to want their money back, but there's also going to be other times where they're just looking for a new product. They're just looking, saying, this one wasn't great, maybe try something else. But we need to understand what it is that they want in order to react properly to their concerns. So we've set up this standard as a guideline for you to train your associates on how they can handle these things. And I would suggest reinforcing this on a regular basis, asking them, doing some role-playing activities with them. We had really fun today doing that with each other, but it means that much more when we go back and do it with our associates because it gives them an opportunity to practice their answers. And then you'll identify if they're missing any one of these 4 steps so that we can teach them again and again how to really react to customer concerns. Are there any questions about this? All brands have a type of standard in terms of what we do with customer complaints, and we recognize that as a brand. We need to make sure that we have a system to identify how we deal with these things as well. And this is something that doesn't just qualify for On the Go 2.0. This is a standard that you should be using to answer any questions about any products in your accounts.